Hi everyone, and welcome to the Leo April 2022 mid-month love, health, and wealth reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better find where you fit. Hi everyone and welcome. So to those of you who are returning, thank you so much for your continued support of my channel and the content that I put out. And to all of those who are new, welcome. This reading is meant to be a mid-month reminder, basically, to yourself to keep some points in mind that Spirit would like you to be aware of, so that as you continue through the second half of the month, you have something to kind of ground you in your experience that keeps you aware of who you are as a unique individual and how important that is to connect that authentically and express that authentically into your external life experience. So, hello all of my Leos. We're going to start to first pull some cards around love, because who doesn't love to know about love? So we're going to see what Spirit would like you to be aware of and kind of what to expect around that energy. Now, this can obviously pertain to romantic love. It can also pertain to other areas where we work with the energy of love. So this could be in a family dynamic. This could even be in a work environment where you're interacting with another person. Okay, so we have romantic feelings. It says your feelings are real and worth exploring. I love that. I'm going to pull an additional card and then some clarifiers. And we'll get further into this. But as I'm pulling additional cards here, so romantic feelings, I like that it says your feelings are real and worth exploring. You know, sometimes when we think of love, we can kind of, you know, we feel something for someone, or we feel that we want to express something and we hold ourselves back and we kind of second guess, well, is what I'm feeling real? Is this worth kind of exploring? And it's saying yes. And I like how it specifically says romantic feelings. So for you, Leo, more so than the other signs I've read for, there really is something here around the element of romance and romantic partnership. And this, for those of you who are not in a relationship and are not looking to be in one, this could also pertain specifically to how you view and romanticize your life experience. So, you know, sometimes we get into that place where we actually second guess, are we overly romanticizing life? Is there some aspect of our experience that we're very hopeful and optimistic around? And we can sometimes dilute ourselves into thinking that you know, we maybe are a little innocent or naive there, and when maybe something isn't as great as we think it is. And this is saying, no, trust your feelings, trust how you feel towards something that either you feel romantic towards or something that brings a feeling of romance into your life. So we have simple acts of kindness. It says kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you, with the number 5. The number 5 is a number of change. So there is something here coming through, Leo, around the energy of change through love and around your ability to have confidence in really trusting what you feel to be true and authentic. So now I'm going to pull some additional clarifiers. I'm actually going to give these a quick shuffle here. I think that's something that we, you know, really, we can all hear for ourselves, and that we can often lose actually touch with our emotions and our intuition because we're constantly feeling something, but then pulling ourselves up and out of that feeling into our head, and we start to rationalize away basically rationalize away what we're feeling. We try to say, well, no, even though I'm feeling this, it must be this, or I can't actually, that can't actually be the way it really is. That person can't really be as great as I think they are, or that new interest I have can't actually be as fun as I'm hoping it's going to be. And this month, or for the second half of this month, it really is feeling into that intuitive core of yourself and trusting your emotions. That's what's really coming through here for me. So if you do feel like you love somebody, or that you do have romantic feelings towards somebody, then really, you know, take a look at that and start to take action from that place. explore that. And it can be simply through just maybe giving simple acts of kindness, that maybe you do feel romantically towards somebody, and you can show that through how you interact with them. And again, it doesn't have to be the grand romantic gesture. Sometimes we get lost in that as well, that, well, if I can't, go over the top, why even put in the energy? And it's like, no, just, do it in the simple things. And that's sometimes what can draw something in towards you. Now we have the star, and actually I want to get I love how just that came out. This is beautiful. The star energy is around that big, grand hope, dream, or desire for yourself, that kind of guiding star in your life, that in its realization, you would feel kind of like the heaven on earth experience. I love this. Okay, so Leo, there really is a lot of energy around this kind of bringing in this hopeful romantic feeling. And I always say not the hopeless romantic, but the hopeful romantic. This is movement, the Knight of Cups and the Star. This is movement towards a dream. And I think for some of you, whether the star is an actual romantic partnership, somebody that you're looking to that seems to fulfill an aspect of this heightened vision for yourself. It could be that, or this could also be where you are having deep feelings around a dream or wanting to move towards something in your life. And there is this spirit saying, come at it from a place of this hopeful romantic, that you want to go out there and take action towards it, and do so from a place of, he holds the cup of his emotions. He holds the cup of unconditional love. Come from that place. Come from that place of understanding that your emotions are important. They're worth being shared. They're worth taking action on behalf of those emotions, and follow your star. This is actually a kind of a bigger reading for love, I think, than the other signs, Leo. There's a lot of energy right here, especially with the star coming out. So really, I feel like there's a big message here of don't give up on your dreams. It's almost like lean further into the dream with that, and lean into love. Really lean into love and realize that it's time to act on those feelings. And sometimes we think like when we're pursuing a dream, it has to be this grand, I have to kind of get there all at once, or I have to do so many important steps. And sometimes it's just in the simple acts of kindness that we can even do for ourselves when we're working towards a bigger dream or a bigger idealized goal. It's being kind to yourself as well. I like how it says kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. So this can be something as simple as you doing some self-care, loving yourself, whether this is giving yourself the time to take a nap or go to bed early to be well rested, or eating well so that you feel energized, or that you actually are doing small acts of kindness around somebody else. But either way, I do get this feeling of, it's almost like the magic is in the small things for the second half of this month, while you keep your eyes on the dream and really lean into it and pursue it wholeheartedly. Okay, now I'm going to pull a card for the energy around your health. And a quick disclaimer, I am not a medical practitioner, so we are looking at more of your spiritual health to see really what spirit would like you to be aware of, where there could be possibly an emotional block around you feeling kind of in tune with yourself. And that's really when I talk about spiritual health, or even the spiritual side to our experience. This is really looking at how healthy is your relationship to yourself, to the spirit that lies within you, and how healthy are you able to see that in relationship to the greater collective external experience, the larger connection to source spirit. So being able to see, how are you separate and where do you fit into the greater picture? Oh, interesting. So we have second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So this came up also for Cancer, and it's very interesting. I keep seeing this always this connection between Leo and Cancer. So whether you're dealing with a Cancer or whether your two energies right now are just kind of combining force in the greater divine design of everything, I don't know. But it's a beautiful card to come up. So the second chakra is your sacral chakra, and this is a chakra that is all about your ability to create. So authentic self-expression, but coming from this place of really being able to create something that comes from a place of personal empowerment. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards here. So we're going to see if, what areas that there could be a blockage around this. So I do kind of get this feeling here that there's, okay, so we have the Six of Cups, where, again, maybe in pursuit of this ultimate experience, this star, that there's this element of maybe going to create that for yourself. And that, so it looks like here, so we have the Hierophant and the Six of Cups. Very interesting. Now, this could have to do with I'm just going to put this out here because there's a few very specific messages coming through, and then I'm going to pull this up to a higher level so that it can be more general. For some of you, what could be blocking you around what you really want to step into and create for yourself now, especially around kind of pursuing a dream with this hopeful, romantic exuberance. There could be a past relationship, even a past marriage, that's kind of getting in the way of that, being able to create that for yourself. With the Six of Cups, that can be somebody coming back from the past. And the Hierophant can denote marriage, but it can also denote any other type of kind of rules and regulations and societal norms that we adhere to. So on a higher level, this can be where you can have a block because of the rules you've held yourself to. And so I see this card here with the Hierophant. He's kind of like looking over here in the direction of the Knight of Cups and the Star. And it's almost like having to kind of go back in time a little bit, Leo, and get back in touch with the Six of Cups. Can also be a card of where you get to reconnect with a talent from the past or something that was very specific. You go back and you emotionally connect to it, and you're able to pull a lesson forward and work with that. Use that as a point of creation or creativity. And with the Hierophant, now this is the High Priest card. It's also the card of Taurus as well. It harnesses that energy. So there could be a Taurus coming back from the past for some of you. But there's also the element here with the High Priest. So this can represent the rules we hold ourselves to, as well as kind of the rules that society and cultural norms hold us to. But this can also be where we kind of see ahead of things. The Hierophant is able to be the High Priest and to see much further, and for the sake of the good of the collective, will create rules and systems and regulations based on what he sees, and hopefully for the benefit of the collective community or whoever is being held accountable to them. So there's something here too around possibly a higher vision. So in pursuing something, whether it's a romantic interest, whether it's a dream that a romantic partner kind of is involved with, or whether this is following a true hope on a grander romantic scale for yourself and really leaning into trusting your intuition and your emotions, this is saying now to kind of almost like go back to the past version of yourself and to see a little farther for yourself. We can get blocked in this energy of creation for ourselves because we have locked ourselves into what we feel we can create. I'm only allowed to go this far in life. I'm only allowed to make this much money. And sometimes we don't even realize we've kind of put a cap on ourselves like that. Like we've told ourselves, if I make $300,000 a year, that's amazing, and that's all I'll ever be able to make. And And yet in your heart of hearts, you want something more for yourself. But you've told yourself, you've created those rules in place and put in the structures that you said you could only see that far ahead. That for you, seeing to $300,000 as a salary cap, now that was how you put all of the rules and regulations in place as to how to behave to get to that point. And now you're being asked to see further, but to see further by going backwards, which is interesting, to see further by going back to a past version of yourself, to gain clarity on a passion or some hidden talent, I feel, that needs to kind of be brought back up now, and perhaps maybe where you also told yourself that, you know, I can't work with that. It might have been a past passion or hobby that you told yourself, I can't make money from. I can't do X, Y, and Z with. And now you're being told to go back and kind of break that down and bring the energy of love and belief into bringing this point forward, because there is something here with this coming through, something that wants to be created. And you yourself are the one that's preventing it because you're not allowing it. Something within your routine, your structure, the rules you adhere, you follow, were not based on a far enough vision for yourself, a bigger vision for you. They were not based on your ultimate star, on the ultimate grand in your heart of hearts, you know, is your dream for your life. So expand on your vision and allow yourself to go back to a past version of yourself and glean some hidden talent and trust. Again, hopeful, romantic, optimistic. That's really the themes coming through here for you, Leo. You can do more and you're worth more. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to pull a final card here for the theme of wealth. And of course, this can be financial wealth or physical abundance, but it can also be wherever you feel that you want more wealth in your life, meaning you want more wealth of time, or you want more wealth of love, whatever would make you feel wealthy and abundant. This is going to be that energy. Oh my gosh, I also think Cancer got yin as well. I know somebody else did. Okay, very interesting. So you might want to watch a couple of the previous signs to see, you might get additional messages with the same, or you might be dealing with somebody who is, you guys are kind of interacting there. But yin, so yin is the energy of receiving, conscious allowing. It also holds the cup, it's the chalice, it's something that is allowed to be filled. And I really do feel like that's coming through here. There's this kind of Ace of Cups, you holding the wealth of your emotions and understanding the value in them, understanding the value of your intuition, understanding that value of loving yourself, but also leaning into the dream. And this is also divine feminine energy, which can also be the energy of creation, where you get to take in what's around you and be able to give birth to something new. Really love this, Leo. Let's go ahead and pull some clarifiers here for you guys and see what wants to come up for you. So, Four of Wands, okay. Also a card that's come up in almost every single reading, which is so interesting, and the Moon. Let me get one more card here just to see. So, okay, Five of Wands. Wow, all of these cards, these repeat cards here. Okay, so Four of Wands. Four of Wands is building a foundation from a place of passion, taking action on behalf of passion and building a foundation that can be celebrated with others. This can be actually a card that symbolizes a marriage or a celebration of that magnitude. But with the Moon coming in, this is a card that really does speak to the way is not clear, but can you walk this path on faith? It also really brings in the energy of Cancer, which is interesting, and Pisces as well. But there's also the feeling of, with the Moon coming through, of really lining up with your intuition. Again, there is this feeling of going into that place of deep knowing and asking yourself, can you walk a path on faith to create this firm foundation based from a place of passion? And what's interesting is with the Five of Wands coming in, this is a card that can denote kind of getting back out there, jumping into the fray. It can also be a card, a little bit of chaos of, kind of having a bunch of people with too many cooks in the kitchen type energy. But what I'm feeling for you is it's almost like taking a foundation that you've created and taking it out to be tested, to see the validity of that foundation, to go out there now and say, okay, I've taken action from a place of passion. I've come this far, and now I'm going to go out there and kind of make it public. I'm going to take it out into the world and really trust, can you walk this path on faith, that what I'm feeling, why I initially wanted to put energy towards building this foundation is so that I could take it further. So there is something to be said here around this whole energy. This whole spread is about kind of kicking it up a notch, Leo. It's time to, I think, have a broader vision for yourself and realize that something wants to be birthed through you. Something wants to come through. Something needs to be created. Whether this is a new romantic partnership and family that needs to be created, whether this is a new business, whether this is a larger kind of change in your whole life dynamic. But there's something here that is based on a deep dream that capitalizes on something from your past, something integral to who you are, that taps into the passion. And now you're being asked to really, in the wealth sector, to, instead of pushing to kind of make something happy, it's more about sitting back and receiving what's around you and receiving even messages. When we think about our intuition and our feelings, that's how we really get that. That's our little antenna as to picking up on what we're feeling in the energies around us and how we get direct messages from spirit or source or God or whatever you choose to believe. And it's almost like really using your ability to receive, to gain that clarity as to where to take your steps. If you're walking a path on faith, and you know that path is part of the divine plan, then it's having faith that you'll be guided to the next step along the way. And also to be guided as to where to take something you've already created, this foundation, and take it out into the world to be seen, to kind of, I think, stretch your wings a little bit. And that's what I'm getting here, Leo. So it's a beautiful second half to this month. As we move into Taurus season, where you're going to be asked about, looking at yourself and what do you value and how do you value, this is going to be really center stage as to what do you value based on what you want for yourself, and what do you value now, now that you've expanded this vision for yourself. What do you want to create for yourself if you break the rules, if you let the structures and the rules that you've held yourself to, what if you just broke through those and realized they were too small, with too limited a view? Now that you can see further, what structures would you put in place to get you to the next heightened vision of this dream, and to allow you to take what you've already done and with confidence go out and start to utilize it kind of on more of the public stage? All right, Leo, I hope this has been a illuminating reading. If you'd like to book your own reading or a one-on-one reading session, a live session, you can click on the link in the description box below. I have actually now a location in Northern Virginia if you happen to live in that area, where I can host live one-on-one readings, and I would love to see you there. Otherwise, I also do remote live readings and pre-recorded readings. And for all of you that don't know, I do have my I Am Illuminated 1 hour reading on special through the end of the month. It is 25% off. And next month, illumination readings are going to be a little different in that the main monthly reading for each sign is going to also include an extended reading for an additional fee for those of you who would like to kind of dive a little deeper into that reading. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful end to April, and I look forward to seeing you in May for your next illumination reading. Bye, Leo.